Red Bull's new 2026 engine just got exposed, and what's inside has every other team in Formula One officially panicking. Initial tests show electric deployment that reacts faster than human reflexes, with torque hitting harder and earlier than anyone predicted. Built from scratch with Ford, this power unit is using aerospace-grade battery tech, predictive energy mapping, and zero-lag torque blending. Subscribe now, because if this engine works on track the way it's working behind closed doors, Red Bull won't just be fast, they'll be untouchable. Red Bull's 2026 engine project is no longer a rumor, it's a confirmed engineering threat. What was initially dismissed by rival teams as a bold experiment has now become a technical benchmark. After years of relying on Honda, Red Bull decided to go fully independent and build their own power unit, collaborating directly with Ford. This decision has not only accelerated their innovation cycle, but it has placed them in total control of the most complex regulation change Formula One has seen in a decade. The 2026 power unit rules demand a 50-50 energy split between electric deployment and internal combustion. That's not a tweak, it's a revolution. And while most manufacturers are still working through the compromises this introduces, Red Bull has reportedly already achieved near seamless energy distribution. Early simulations show a system that doesn't just react to driver input, it anticipates it. That puts them in a position to control corner exits, manage battery load, and optimize tire grip in ways the others simply aren't ready for. The entire grid expected Red Bull to struggle in their first year as an engine manufacturer. Instead, the opposite has happened. The development timeline coming out of Milton Keynes shows Red Bull powertrains moving faster than anyone predicted, already entering full system integration while competitors remain locked in isolated component testing. That early start has given them a 6 to 8 month advantage in refinement, a gap that only grows as hardware and software continue learning from each other. This isn't just an engine built for speed, it's built for adaptability. Red Bull's unit is rumored to feature a modular hybrid control system that can reprioritize energy deployment based on track layout, weather conditions, or tire strategy. Imagine a powertrain that rewrites its own control maps mid-race. That's the level of flexibility this engine appears to be delivering, and it explains why insiders say engineers at Mercedes and Ferrari have begun re-evaluating their entire 2026 development structure. Cooling, a massive challenge under the new packaging constraints, has also been turned on its head. Red Bull is allegedly running a dual-phase thermal circuit that separates battery and engine temperatures while allowing shared coolant exchange under load. That setup is delivering heat stability across longer stints and giving aerodynamicists more freedom to tighten the bodywork without triggering overheating failures. The result is not just better airflow, but a lighter, more efficient overall car. One of the biggest surprises is how quiet Red Bull has been. There have been no flashy announcements, no exaggerated press releases. Just quiet confidence and leaked figures that tell a very different story. Sources suggest the engine has already surpassed critical FIA benchmarks for hybrid deployment, torque smoothing, and charge efficiency while maintaining full reliability across long dyno runs. If those figures translate to the track, Red Bull may arrive in 2026 not testing but dominating. And that's why the rest of the paddock is nervous. Because this isn't just about raw horsepower. It's about who understood the new rules first, who adapted faster, and who took the risk of building something revolutionary while others played it safe. Red Bull did. And now, with a power unit that looks more like a factory prototype than a race-ready system, they've forced every other team to rethink what they thought was possible before the lights even go out in Bahrain. One of the most closely guarded secrets behind Red Bull's 2026 engine is its multi-layered energy recovery optimization, a system reportedly capable of fine-tuning mg/UK performance per sector in real time. Unlike traditional power units that operate on pre-programmed ERS maps, Red Bull's unit adjusts dynamically. If grip is lost in one corner, the system recalibrates deployment for the next, not in minutes, but within milliseconds. This responsiveness isn't just smart engineering. It's a leap in control logic that lets drivers extract more performance without overworking the tires. The internal battery design, co-developed with Ford, is another area of quiet disruption. Rather than one centralized unit, Red Bull's powertrain uses a segmented battery cell array with thermal zoning that prevents localized overheating and allows cells to rotate cooling priority. That system makes energy delivery more consistent on longer runs and reduces peak degradation over a race distance. In a calendar where fewer power units are allowed per season, this efficiency could mean fewer penalties and better grid position management throughout the year. Even the inverter, a typically overlooked part of the hybrid chain, has been overhauled. Red Bull is using new switching architecture based on silicon carbide transistors technology borrowed from the electric vehicle world, where rapid charge cycles are essential. This hardware allows for faster energy transfer with lower thermal buildup, meaning Red Bull's system can dump and harvest energy with shorter cooldown periods. The advantage? More frequent hybrid usage without compromising reliability, especially in tight corner-heavy circuits like Hungary or Singapore. A significant innovation lies in the engine's torque synchronization algorithm, which blends combustion and electric power using input from brake and steering sensors. For example, when entering a long radius corner, the system prepares a custom power curve for the exit one that matches the car's slip angle, throttle load, and tire wear status. This tight coordination prevents traction losses while maximizing acceleration, giving drivers cleaner exits without sacrificing speed. It's the kind of seamless power delivery that wins races over 71 laps, not just over one lap of qualifying. Red Bull's engineers have also pushed the boundaries of powertrain packaging, developing a vertically compact hybrid module that sits lower in the chassis without interfering with suspension geometry. That allows for a lower center of gravity and tighter rear airflow management. Most rival teams will still be battling cooling compromises due to bulkier MGUK housing, while Red Bull enjoys aerodynamic efficiency and mechanical balance from day one. It's a hidden edge, one that won't show up on camera, but will show up in lap times. Software is also playing a massive role. The control interface running this power unit is said to be machine learning enhanced, collecting data from simulated laps and adjusting torque requests and harvesting behavior based on driver style. So when Verstappen or Perez drives, the system doesn't just react, it adapts. Think of it as a powertrain with memory. The more it runs, the more efficient and tailored it becomes. That gives Red Bull's drivers not just a fast car, but a car that evolves with them session after session. And lastly, perhaps the most telling detail is what Red Bull hasn't said. No flashy claims, no public pressure. Yet teams with access to shared FIA data have confirmed Red Bull's power unit is setting benchmarks in torque linearity, deployment stability, and energy efficiency. Those are the categories that decide not headlines but championships. Red Bull isn't just building an engine. They're quietly preparing a machine designed to win both races and the entire development war before a single wheel has turned in 2026. Red Bull's 2026 power unit isn't just a new engine, it's a complete redefinition of integration philosophy. Instead of treating the engine, battery, inverter, and software as separate departments, they've created a unified development ecosystem. Engineers from Red Bull powertrains and Ford work side by side in one data stream, allowing for instant feedback between hardware behavior and software optimization. Every bench test is logged, simulated, then modified before the next run, shrinking the time between concept and calibration from weeks to hours. At the heart of their innovation is a fully synchronized powertrain chassis interface. Most teams develop their engines as standalone units before marrying them to the chassis. Red Bull took the opposite approach, designing engine dimensions and mass distribution around how the car will rotate through corners. The packaging doesn't dictate car setup, the intended car behavior dictated how the engine was shaped. That means optimal weight placement, cleaner air over the diffuser, and a handling balance baked into the DNA of the car, not patched in later with suspension tweaks. One of the most daring systems Red Bull has implemented is predictive hybrid deployment, driven by artificial intelligence. Instead of the driver requesting energy manually or following a preloaded map, the engine software predicts when torque will be most useful, then activates MGUK deployment at exactly that moment. Imagine entering turn 6 and feeling full electric shove just before you hit the throttle. That predictive instinct creates sharper exits, reduced wheel spin, and more effective tire preservation, all without the driver needing to micromanage energy on the fly. Thermal management is often overlooked, but it's a war every team fights. Red Bull appears to be winning that battle too. By integrating thermal energy routing across multiple subsystems, they're able to circulate waste heat from the combustion chamber into a controlled battery preheating loop. That helps stabilize electric performance in colder conditions, while simultaneously keeping the battery within its optimal thermal window. In a season with a mix of climates from Silverstone's cool air to Qatar's desert heat, that adaptability is massive. Structurally, Red Bull's power unit is also designed to serve as a stressed component, bearing loads typically handled by the carbon tub or rear suspension arms. This frees up chassis stiffness for tuning and saves weight in the bulkhead. More importantly, it gives Red Bull more aerodynamic freedom. The narrower engine profile opens space for aggressive sidepod design and tighter cooling inlets. As aero freedom tightens under 2020's excess drag limitations, these millimeter-level packaging wins could become race-deciding. The energy harvesting system has also taken a leap forward. Red Bull is rumored to have pioneered a bidirectional harvesting protocol, where both braking zones and engine off-throttle moments feed energy back into the battery. While this sounds subtle, the impact is profound. It means that in corners where other teams are bleeding power, Red Bull is collecting it, preparing for another burst of performance just seconds later. Over an entire race distance, this translates to dozens of extra deployment moments that others simply can't match. Finally, Red Bull's confidence comes from the one thing their rivals lack right now: track-level simulation data running in tandem with full dyno outputs. By feeding live driver simulation feedback into their powertrain development loop, they're training the engine the way you'd train a driver, with laps, data, and adaptation. This isn't just a fast engine. It's a power unit being shaped by real-world driving behaviors before the first official test. And when it finally hits the tarmac in 2026, it won't be learning. It will already know.